6:39 right now, if that sounds okay to everybody, and go ahead with your statement.
All right. So this is a virtual meeting statement pursuant to Governor Baker's March 12, 2020 order suspending certain provisions of the Open Meeting Law, General Law, Chapter 30A, subsection 18, and the Governor's March 15, 2020 order imposing strict limitations on the number of people that may gather in one place. This meeting of the Hubbardston Board of Health will be conducted via remote participation to the greatest extent possible. Specific information and the general guidelines for remote participation by the members of the public and or parties with a right and or requirement to attend this meeting can be found at www.hubbardstonma.us. No in-person attendance of members of the public will be permitted, but every effort will be made to ensure that the public can adequately access the proceedings in real time via technological means. In the event that we are unable to do so despite best efforts, we will post on the town's website an audio or video recording, transcript, or other comprehensive record of proceedings as soon as possible.
Oh, with that being said, should we go into the review of last meeting minutes of March 10th? I believe it's what it says here. Does everybody have a copy in front of them, or did everybody review them?
I do have a copy, and I also reviewed it.
I have a copy, but I read it.
Yep.
Kate?
Yep, I've read the copy.
Vinny, are you all set? Did you review?
I did not get the minutes, but I did get an agenda, so we're looking for that right now.
We can share the minutes on the screen.
Mallory, do you have a copy of the minutes?
I can definitely try to pull them open.
Ben, it's in the email with everything else.
Emails.
Got it.
You got it?
Sorry,
Okay.
attachments I didn't read. Okay, we got it.
Are you going to review it before we make the motion, Vinny, or?
Yeah, give me a quick second.
Okay.
Okie dokie.
Could someone make a motion to approve the minutes as presented?
So
A
moved.
motion.
Second, please. Can someone make a second?
I second it.
All in favor, and when we say all in favor, could you state your name and in favor or not? Colleen?
Kathy.
Okay.
Kathy, yes, in favor.
Colleen in favor.
Kate? Oh, we're not hearing you, Kate.
Kate in favor.
Vinny?
I'm in favor. Vincent Ritchie in favor.
William Holman's in favor. Unanimous vote. We can move on to the COVID-19 update situations.
Okay, so as we're pretty much all aware, we are just following the governor's regulations that he's putting out. We are closed as a town hall to the public, most of us working remote, at least up until, for now, May 7th. So what I've been doing is working close with our MPA Gen nurse who's handling everything for us. Honestly, she just calls when we get any activity, and I just get that information over to our police, fire, and EDS manager so that they have all the information at their fingertips. But other than that, our nurse has been handling it top to bottom for us, which has really been fantastic and taken a lot of pressure off of the Board of Health, obviously. I did get a call from the Department of Public Health this afternoon, who we have been working with them to try to get some PPE, some cleaning supplies for Town Hall for the Board of Health, and they were able to access some of them. They can't tell me exactly quite what they have for Hubbardston yet, but they just called just to make sure that someone will be available Friday to run to Marlborough to pick up these items. So I volunteered. He'll call me Thursday afternoon with the time slot. I can run to the DPH headquarters in Marlborough, pick it up, and bring it on back.
Oh, that's
That
awesome.
That is great.
Any,
Bill?
Bill, I think you're on mute.
oh, sorry. I must have hit a button. Is there any more discussion on the COVID-19 or should we go into the EDS plan? Seeing no discussion, can we move on to the EDS plan, Kathy?
Yes. I reviewed the updated document that Mallory forwarded to us, and it looks complete. Mallory, thank you for doing the work. That's the final part of the process that we started earlier this year with the on-site practice and then logging in on the computer in the office and so on.
Is that it on the plan, Kathy?
Yeah, the EDS plan is complete now, and that pretty much brings it up to where we need should they come up with, for example, a vaccine for COVID-19. We would be able to implement the process using our EDS plan.
Sounds great. Thank you. Dan? Dan? Go
Yeah,
ahead.
I was just unmuting. Thanks, guys. Just a quick question. So is the approved EDS plan going to be available to the public?
Yeah, absolutely. It's public record. So what it is, it's an emergency dispensary plan. If ever there was a time where Hubbardston had to enact a spot to inoculate a large group of people, whether it be for Hep C or for if there is a vaccine for COVID-19 that comes out, it just walks everyone through the steps, start to finish, how many nurses we need, what shifts would be available, but we can definitely make that available to the public now that it's complete.
Thanks.
Thank you. All set, Dan?
Yep. Thank you.
All right. With that being said, can we move on to failed systems? The first one at 10 Main Street.
Excuse me, Bill, may I interrupt and ask you about this situation? I see 5. I do not see you or Kathy. How do I?
That's failure at our side, Vinny. My camera for some reason won't work.
Oh, all right.
Same thing here, Vinny. I'm sorry, my camera's
Okay.
not working.
Oh, not a problem.
Actually, I just think it's because everybody in the group here doesn't want to see us and they clicked us out, but I'm only kidding. Moving on to failed systems, 10 Main Street.
So 10 Main Street, I've spoken with the owners. Those are the ones who requested the pumping records every month until they can move forward with repairs. Once we have, we're comfortable with moving forward with the Title V loan program, they are going to be applying. So I told them to get started to start getting some estimates because they're going to need to have 3 estimates for the system repair. So we're just waiting on that to come in.
Everybody all set?
Yes.
75 Berry Road?
75 Berry Road has contacted me actually earlier or yesterday and they I forwarded them a copy of the PERC application and they're going to get moving forward on their repairs as well.
30 Main Street.
And they are also moving forward on their repairs. So it is recently purchased and they're going to be working with an installer to get this done. I guess there was a plan that was approved last year and we're kind of just working out the nuts and bolts as to see where they are in the process from last year to see what needs to get done. But all 3 of them are moving forward at this time.
Any more discussion on failed systems?
Bill, I have some comments I'd like to make. In reference to 10 Main Street and 30 Main Street, looking back over the last couple of days of the history of these systems, the 30 Main Street was first reported back in 2018, and I believe early 2019 for 10 Main Street. Now, the relevance of this is the fact that both are located within proximity of public water supplies. Number 10, particularly in relation to the center school public water supply. So my concern is that we need to set up some kind of policy and guidelines so that a failed system gets reported in a more timely manner and repairs are initiated prior to the time period that we're seeing here now, which I think is unacceptable over the course of almost 2 years for, especially because these are within the locations that they're in. But my consideration would be to have something so that everybody who does a Title V examination, if there's a failed system, that has to be reported within a 30 or a 60-day window. So, and with a program or a plan of action for repairs. I don't think it's acceptable to go this long for failed septic systems. And
Well,
again,
Vinny, I totally agree with you. When I first got on the board 2 years ago, this was a problem at the first meeting. The Board of Health sent letters, registered letters to the owner of the property, and he just didn't even reply. We sent, I don't remember how many there was. I think Kathy or Mallory might know that better, but we went after him many times till he finally came and started the process, and then he put the place up for sale. We've been on top, the board has been on top of that, but as far as the legal aspects of it, there's nothing else in place besides doing that.
well, I think now that we've discovered this funding ability, there is no excuse for people to avoid this. You know, I really think it's inexcusable. You know, public health starts right there at the septic system level. There is no more basic system. You know, and again, this comes to point with these two particular properties. So I'm going to think about a policy that I'll try to propose at the next meeting. I didn't get a chance to draw anything up here for this evening, but I think it's only prudent that we make some kind of policy and hold the people who do Title V inspections liable for reporting a failed system, and then have some guidelines and a policy for some type of action that needs to be initiated so that repairs and replacements get done in a timely fashion. Those are my comments on that.
So the Mass Sanitary Code does have provisions for that. I don't think that the issues we're having with 10 and 30 Main Street are so much a failure to report on the inspector's side as much as it is failure for the then owner or occupant to take action to get it fixed. And the Sanitary Code does allow for that 2 years as well. The Board of Health has the right to impose stricter limitations. But I can send you the chapters in the Mass Sanitary Code that pertain to inspections if you want to take a look at those, Vinny.
Well, I realize they give them that window, but I'm suggesting that we close that window even tighter, which we have the ability to do. And the Town Center District, the whole district basically is within 2 public water systems, supply systems, which makes a big difference. I mean, we're talking about restaurants and coffee shops and our children's school system. Churches, no, we don't have to worry about the public municipal building because we get bottled water there. But I think the rest of them, it's just not acceptable to let these systems go for 2 years.
Any more discussion?
I had a question about 30 Main Street. Mallory, did you find out the mystery of the variance from
They're still
2019?
working on it.
Okay. So do you suspect that it'll be applied with the variance again?
It's gonna
Based-
have to be.
based
So
on the plan.
because changed owners, a new application is gonna have to happen anyway.
Yep.
We have an approved plan, but we have an application they applied to put a system in,
Mhm.
but it was never moved forward with, and the application was never even signed by the Board of Health to approve the system going in.
Mhm.
So we're gonna have to pretty much start from square one and work it like it was it is a new applicant coming through,
Well, I'm not sure that's exactly accurate, Mallory, because what we received from that engineer today is a long history of not only the meetings, the variants, the abutters list, the system that was signed off by Matt, the revisions signed off by Matt, and there's been no reaction from DEP. And when they don't react within a 30-day window, it's approval, basically. So it seems to me like it's a system ready to go.
It's
Unless
just
I'm
have to
misreading
apply for
everything.
it. They just have to apply for their permit.
That's correct.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
they
followed.
do have to put in a new application because there's new owners.
Right.
But yes, most of the information is now available. I did print it off. Everything looks legit and in order, other than we need the new application from the new owners. Okay? Then we can start moving forward.
Any other discussion on 10 and 30 Main Street? Hearing none, 75 Berry Road. Any updates on 75 Berry Road?
Oh, yeah, no, they're moving forward. That's the one that applied for the, they applied or asked me for a copy of the application for a perk test. It hasn't been submitted yet. So they're moving forward and trying to find someone to work with to do their perk test, but they're ready to begin their repairs.
Okay. Any other?
There's, yes, Bill, there is more discussion. 59 Brigham Street, which is a home of Tom and Andrea Collier, has now submitted an application for a perk test. And so that should be added to our list of failed systems. And today, 45 Williamsville Road, I did the bottom test witnessing. So that repair should also be on the list for reconstruction.
Kathy, have
Under-
we gotten official word that it's a failure? The system's a failure? Because we have an application. They haven't paid for it yet. But I haven't
Really,
got
for 45 Williamsville?
I'm sorry, for 59 Brigham Road. Because I haven't gotten a failed Title V yet. So
Okay.
yeah, I don't know if there are, I can't confirm that they're in failure or not. I just have a application. I let them know that they need to pay for it. When their excavator is ready, they can just call and schedule.
Right. Okay, I'll follow up on that, that we don't have a copy of the failed Title V.
Perfect.
So we're talking about two different locations now, right? You
Yeah.
said
Right.
59 Brigham Street and then Williamsville Road?
45 Williamsville Road, right. That one did fail and they held up for a while. But now they're moving forward with the reconstruction or repair, putting in a new system.
Any more discussion? Hearing none, moving on to past Title V.
Haven't had it. Oh,
Oh, Dan?
Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt there. I just wanted to I'm leaving. I didn't want to just leave meeting, but I appreciate everyone taking their role so seriously. I was just checking in. Have a good night, everyone.
take care.
Thanks for coming, Dan.
Good night.
Good
Good
night.
night. Is there any changes on the past Title Vs?
We haven't had any come in. I have a feeling that business is kind of slow right now for those guys. But we haven't had any new ones. And I was in today to check the mail and everything, and nothing but a couple pumping records.
Permits or items to be signed. Berthium Equipment Installer. Berthium.
I sent over their application for you guys to review. It came along with 2 other cities that or towns that they're installers in.
So do we need to come in and sign that?
Nope. All signatures can be done via DocuSign. So if we vote to approve the installer, what we can do is I'll have Ryan will send a link out. I'll get the information to Ryan. Ryan will send a link and he will work with you guys to get the signatures on what we need to get done. So this one only requires Kathy's signature.
Okay.
And I apologize, but it's not in my email. So if you'll resend that to me.
Yeah, it's in the same email that I sent.
It's the email about tonight's meeting with the attached agenda and minutes. It's just another attachment in that email.
Oh, I missed it. Sorry.
That's okay. So much
Any-
easier when we're just in person. I can hand out everything.
Any more discussion? If not, open inspections, plans and review.
Oh,
perk
we gotta
test.
vote on that.
Oh, we do. Can I have somebody make a motion to approve the permit? Is this a permit you said?
This is an installer's permit, so they can install and do repairs in town.
So can somebody make a motion to that, please?
I make a motion that we approve the Burcom installer permit.
Can we have a second?
I'll second that. That's Kate.
All in favor? Just say your name and say yay or nay.
Kathy, yay.
Colleen, you raised your hand.
Colleen,
Vinny?
I'm going to abstain.
Okay, Kate?
Kate, yes.
Bill? Yes. All, motion carries. Open inspection plans and review, perk test at 87 Hale Road.
So that was an older one that was done. I think Kathy, you did that one, right?
Yes.
It's been a while. So
Um,
I think we're just waiting for documentation back on that one.
Okay, sorry.
No. And
Did they send in any other information besides?
Not yet.
Okay. Would you contact them to send the other information? I have the perk test documents still sitting here.
of course,
Sorry.
no worries.
I'll get that to you.
Road. Perfect. And then, all right, that one was for perk test. Okay.
Sorry, my dogs are interrupting. I apologize. Certificate of compliance, 66 Williamsville Road.
Yeah, that was the one I sent to you, Bill, the Ollie. Were you able to get that one done?
I'm sorry, I keep muting at the dogs. I can't get them to stop. I really apologize. Yeah, that was the Olies. Was I supposed to do that electronically? No, I sent that to you.
I haven't gotten it back yet. Did you just sign it?
I scanned it in and sent it to you.
Did you
I
send it
will
to
do,
the
I'll do it again tonight.
Perfect. Yeah, if I don't get it in the morning, I'll let you know. Did you
Okay.
get a copy to them yet or not?
No.
Okay.
Repair of component 26, Natty Pond.
I don't know who did that inspection off the top of my head. I apologize.
I didn't do that one.
That would have been me. Let's see. Let me get my notes on it.
uh-oh, can you hear me?
Yes. That was a D-box repair done by the installer was Jake Petty's. I inspected it on March 13th and took photos. Did you get any further paperwork back from that person?
Not yet. No.
All right, so we need to contact the
Yeah.
installer again.
Will do.
I lost the video. Can you still hear me?
We can
Yeah.
I can see you.
Yep, we can see you
Yeah?
and hear you.
I see the word Zoom in front of me. I don't have any more video here.
You're looking at a different screen. You have to click it's a camera button on the bottom of your window.
Either that or is she in the wrong program? Maybe the Alt
No.
tab?
No, I was,
No. So the
Oh, I got
pictures
it.
and yeah,
no, I
yeah.
found it, Kate, right at the bottom. Gotcha.
Yeah.
I'm back. Okay. I don't know how that happened.
The application opens on a web tab, and then the sharing screen opens on top of that.
Oh, okay.
So by clicking that little video camera, it toggles between them.
Oh, I didn't click that though, but okay.
Happens.
Any more discussion on the open inspection plans and review? Hearing none, open complaints, 99 Ragged Hill Road.
So this was an older one that we had for some junk and debris, and was following up on it because I didn't see any completion. It kind of caught my eye as I was going through older stuff. And I never, one thing I'm doing now that we're working remote is looking for open issues that we had and making sure that we buttoned them up and that they're closed so they're not just in limbo. This is one that popped up and I was just looking to see if we had any resolution that anyone knows of because I couldn't find anything.
I don't remember that one at all.
Okay.
Neither do I.
Okay.
Do you know how old it is?
Before me, but not too far before me. So I can get I know the documentation is at my desk at work. So I can get it to you and then maybe someone can just do a drive-by or.
What's the last name on that? Do you have a name? But we can't hear you. Mallory? We can't hear you. She's not talking.
Yeah.
I'm still here. Kate's here. Vin, are you still here?
Mallory, we can't hear you.
You can't hear me?
No,
Oh, now we
hear you
can.
now.
I don't think she said anything.
No, I was trying to pull open the assessor's page so I could take a look at a name for you guys.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought I saw her lips moving. This is crazy. This is really
crazy. It's not normal, that's for sure.
This
So-
is normal for me. This is part of my everyday.
Ugh,
Yeah, but this is really weird. So do you want to stay on this one or can we move on to the next one?
Now your lips are moving, Marilyn, but we cannot hear you.
So I wasn't seeing things.
Ronald Flynn.
Oh, Flynn's. Okay. No, I've never been there.
Okay.
I know where it is. I know the owner.
Just trying to button up and take care of stuff that was out there before and
Gotcha.
so we get completion.
Mallory, if you have other windows open, it's degrading your bandwidth and there's a delay. And I think that's why we're not hearing you.
I don't have anything open because I'm on a Chromebook for this, but
Yeah. No, I don't. I think when you went to search, it started and then it stopped when you stopped searching.
weird. All right.
Any more discussion on Ragged Hill Road? If not, we'll go here for you.
So we got a complaint on Hair for You pretty early on into Governor Baker's orders to shut down all non-essential, that she was still having clientele coming in and out of her shop. So pretty instantaneously, we got a hold of her. She confirmed that she's not taking any clients at this time. There is a dispute between tenants in the building, but she did confirm on March 30th, she held a clothing drive for veterans. Everything was done outside. All the clothing was put into her truck bed. There was no contact between people. But so there was a couple cars that were congregated there, and she is doing some repair work to her building while she's closed down. So she's had family members in just helping her paint and spruce it up and all that good stuff, as well as some landscapers out there. But she guaranteed that there's no business going on right now, which is.
And who is she, Mallory?
She's the owner of it. And I apologize, I don't remember her name off the top of my head, but I can get that for you.
Her first
She's a-
name is Dawn.
Dawn, yes.
Oh, okay.
I don't
Dawn.
know what her last name is.
She's in Claudia's old business, Vinny.
Yeah.
I realized that, Bill. I just didn't know if she was the landlord or there was the landlord or who was
Mm-mm.
doing it. But
No, the landlord is the liquor store or the little hub mart. Haney.
The store is the owner. Haney owns the place.
Yeah.
And he rents out to all those folks.
Yeah, so we kind of made him aware too, and he's been on the lookout to make sure that anything that's happening in the building is just essential, and we're keeping everyone safe.
Hearing any more discussion on that one? If not, we'll go to the Hubtown Diner.
So we had it brought to our attention, again, pretty early on, that there was some cookies that were being sold, kind of like the break to bake. They were just a dough that was going out the door with the instructions on how to bake them at your own house. So I believe, Kate, you reached out on that one, right?
Yeah, I reached out and talked to the food service manager on duty, which is I actually asked for the manager and then talked to that person and asked if they were food safety manager. However, they were very cool about it. They basically said, sure, we'll put a label on it, letting people know that it's raw egg and there's allergens, and put a sell by, use by date. And I was like, that's all we need. Because I mean, fundamentally, it's kind of a fuzzy line between, you know, being a restaurant that's selling food that's cooked and then selling food that requires cooking and has raw ingredients. And honestly, if it was something that needed to be reheated and it was in a container that was like heat ready, I wouldn't have as many concerns. But it was cookie dough, and we know people are, you know, they eat raw cookie dough. So it was just like a, you know, make sure it was labeled so that people knew when it would expire and that it had raw ingredients and eggs specifically. And they were fine with that.
So
But they
did we
closed.
discover these errors, or was somebody complaining, making complaints?
I saw it on Facebook. They were
Okay.
advertising it on Facebook, and I happened to see it because I, you know, follow any business in town that on Facebook, including eateries, Jacomos, all of them. And, you know, it was one of those things.
Well, that's fine. I was just curious if somebody complained. That's all.
How come they closed? They were doing takeout, weren't they?
I don't know why.
That's too bad.
The last time that I stopped and saw her outside, she said they were just not getting enough orders to
Yeah.
make it worthwhile.
Yeah.
Keep all the supplies, you know, on hand that could spoil and so forth.
Oh, that's too bad.
Any more discussion on the Hub Town Diner? If not, we'll go to open issues. Is there any open issues on the list, ladies?
Nope.
I don't have any.
Old business, recycle center.
What we have going on there is that we still don't have electricity because National Grid hasn't put in a meter yet.
Yeah, so National Grid is disputing that the land that the pole is on belongs to the town. So we've been doing a detailed deed search. Still working with the rep over there and on her end. I guess there was power at the shed at one point, so we're not too sure why they're refusing to put it on now, but we're still.
There was
plugging.
power. There was power there years ago.
Right, and that
Yeah.
was
Power
assuming.
was on there till 2 years ago when a storm took down the wires.
So if National Grid continues to stall, I mean, right now we're in a situation where there's not going to be much use of the recycle center anyway, right? I mean, it's not considered an essential business. Is it going to be open in this spring, or are we closed due to the COVID? What's the situation on that side of it?
I was going to bring that up under the recycle center. So I had one person email me that they went down this weekend and it was closed. And so I had Ryan just put out a little blurb that it was closed for now, but to watch for updates because I wasn't sure how you guys want to proceed. I've never witnessed it in operation, so I don't know how it works.
Yeah, I mean, people pull up and Bella and her team walk towards the vehicle, and the people get out of the vehicle and say, you know, I have blah, blah, blah in my truck, and they unload it. And, you know, Bella commands people to weigh things and put things in piles and then gives them a price and they pay them and leave. So that's really the process that I've seen. I guess my question about it being open is, you know, we had the electricity plan in place before we opened last year. And then it took forever to get done. But then with the delays with National Grid, if we don't have electricity for another year or another season, like, I find that unacceptable. Like, is there anything we can do to push back on them? I mean,
I don't know yet. I don't
Yeah.
know why it wasn't like done before we even like contacted them to.
It's very hard to fight National Grid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just want, I just wonder if, I don't know. It's just the whole thing. We had no reason to suspect they would deny this, right?
Right. And I'm pretty sure that pole that's already there feeds the DPW.
So you wouldn't think there'd be any problem. Because if
wouldn't.
it feeds one, why can't it feed both,
Mhm.
Why is there a problem with it being town property? The town is doing it. What's the stipulation here?
The place where the pole is situated, it belonged to, at one point, the US government. It belonged to, at one point, a landowner who lost it to the town of Hubbardston. Then it went to part of DCR. Then it came out to another owner. And then it looks like it went back to the town of Hubbardston. So National Grid is doing pushback saying that we don't own the land where the pole is placed, so we don't have rights to access it.
So have we sent this to town council or a land
yeah,
attorney?
Ryan.
Or?
Yeah, Ryan's aware. We've been working close with the assessor's office. We've been trying to avoid a title search because that's going to be costly. So George and Christina in the assessor's office and myself have been trying to do our own title search, which is difficult because this land goes back way back.
Right.
And the drawings that were registered at the Worcester Registry of Deeds, and the deeds aren't fitting together like they should. So it might eventually have to go to a title search, but we're trying to piece it together with the assessing team.
So who installed the pole? National Grid installs these poles. They installed it on that property.
Mhm.
What's the big issue there? If they've already installed it, all they're doing is hooking up the power. This makes no sense.
But if they did a search on it and they found out that we don't own the property legally, they can't do any more work on it until we figure it out.
Right.
I've seen things like that move before, Benny.
Well, why did they originally put the pole there? That's, this goes
Probably
back to the,
because somebody made a mistake.
Right.
maybe that's possible. They can do that.
Any more discussion about the recycle center?
So I guess my question is, what do we do? Are we moving forward? Are we just gonna keep it closed, or is it something that can operate safely? Or I just want to be able
I
to.
think we need to wait until the May 4th state deadline expires. That will
Okay.
still give us time to put out a notice
Okay.
for the May opening, which would be the second Saturday in May. So I think we have to kind of sit on our hands and wait until we know
Yeah.
where that is.
Right.
I agree.
Yeah, that's kind of how I was feeling too. I just wanted to make sure. Like I said, I had Ryan put a blast out that as of today, it's not open, but just to keep your eyes out on Facebook and on the town website because we'll update it as soon as we know.
Alternatively, could we piggyback off the pole that the DPW must have their meter on?
It's probably the same pole.
Same poll. That's already been established before they found the issue though, so it's kind of grandfathered.
That's ridiculous.
It's just more bureaucracy, folks.
It's, I've talked to more people at National Grid than I can probably count on two hands. It's literally the most asinine thing I've ever seen, but we'll get there.
That's where people that get fired from the registry go to work.
Hey, you know what?
I hear you.
Hey, Mallory, let me make a suggestion. Did you ever try calling the electrical inspector?
Daryl's the one who sent it to them.
What?
Daryl, our electrical inspector, Daryl, he's worked on it with the electrician.
Okay, so he could call National Grid
Mm-hmm.
and ask them about that.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, because my boyfriend's an electrical inspector, and he's on the phone with National Grid all the time. So
Yeah, 'cause
Daryl must
he has
be.
to give the okay to. I know Daryl called National Grid and said, "I've inspected the shed, I've inspected the connections, everything's good to go," and he signed off on the electrical permit. But it's just National Grid not giving the click on to.
Yeah, see if Daryl can get anywhere with them.
It's a good idea. Thank you.
I'm sorry, folks, my computer just shut off here on the screen. Any more discussion on the recycle center?
What did he
Your
say?
dog says no. The dog says no.
She didn't like that one, sorry. Unexpected subjects or anything else, folks?
I'd like to come back around to the 30 Main Street and just publicly
there-
thank.
There's two more items under old business, Bill. There's budget and kitchen inspections. Sorry, Vin.
Oh, I don't have that.
No, you don't? Yeah, two other things. Go for
Sorry.
that first.
We missed
we-
a couple of things under open inspections too. You missed the 26 Natty Pond and the
No,
Well,
we,
we did-
we,
No, we talked about that one.
oh, you did that one. Okay. Where was I?
It'll come in later tonight. It's a delay.
So what was the last two things on the bottom? I don't have
So
those.
old business is budget is next, and then kitchen inspections.
so under budget, I don't see any changes that need to be made for the next town meeting. Mallory's meeting time costs are currently coming out of our revolving account. And when the town votes on the next budget, that will come back out of the normal payment system through the town. I know that Ryan has extended the warrant time, but I'm not aware of any warrants that we need to put in this year.
Any more discussion on the budget? Kitchen inspections.
As of right now, they're still on hold till after May 4th, state guidelines, and we'll have to revisit it at our next meeting in May.
Any other issues?
I just wanted to circle back to that 30 Main Street and publicly thank the engineering firm and Mr. McKenzie for sending us all the information to allow us to figure out what the heck was going on with that. Mallory was unable to get in and do a complete search of all our records, so we're worried and wondering what happened to everything, but the engineering firm came through with quite a bit of information, and it was nice to see them cooperate. Other
Yes,
than
they
that,
did a great job.
Yeah.
I do, I do recall that when Kelly resigned, I had gone through the whole stack of open files, and 30 Main Street's file was big and thick, and it was all there on the desk. But exactly where that file is right now, I couldn't say.
Yeah, I did find the plans that Matt signed off on and gave the approval to, so that's most important.
Oh, good. Yep.
And then we'll just have now that they have the installer's license, the new owners have to just apply for the or the installer has to apply for the permit to install, and we'll be good.
Awesome. Oh, you got company too.
Pretty cute.
Your company's a lot quieter than mine.
Yeah, usually.
Any other issues, folks? Hearing none, do you want to adjourn or do we have, I don't think we have anything else to discuss.
One last question I have about this method. Now, are we being viewed like the other boards are when they go on to the charter website, or is this just being recorded, or what's the status with this Zoom? I'm not familiar with it.
Sure. So I said in the beginning, this is being recorded and it's going to go to a cloud. So anyone will have access to it.
So we don't have an audience here tonight.
Nope. If we did, it would shown up like Dan did. So that's how we would have, and they would have been able to raise their hand if they needed to make a comment or all that good stuff. So
Okay.
yeah,
Will we look for it on YouTube, or is it just part of the?
there's on the town of Hubbardston's website. there is a link with all of the videos that have been done via Zoom. So they're all of them are being stored there.
Very
Awesome.
good system. It's nice and easy to use. It's not bad.
It's a nice alternative, but I miss seeing everyone in person.
It's a little different.
Yeah.
Weird, yeah.
Should we adjourn or
I make a motion, we adjourn.
Second.
all in favor?